Strawberry dump cake with cake mix and pie filling is one of the easiest and best cobbler recipes that you can make.
With just 3 basic ingredients and a few optional ones if you want, it's the perfect strawberry dessert for beginner cooks who need to feed a crowd. For this dump cake cobbler recipe, you will need two 21-ounce cans of strawberry pie filling, one 15.25-ounce box of cake mix. I recommend either white or yellow because those flavors are neutral. I am using white. And 2 sticks of unsalted butter. I know you're thinking, Chef Parnell, that's a lot of butter. I will get to that in a minute. Like I said, this is a strawberry dump cake cobbler, and hence the name. All you have to do is take your ingredients and dump them into a pan. Here I have a 9 by 13 inch baking dish that is already greased. I took some of the butter from one of the sticks. And so the first step is just dumping the 2 cans of pie filling into the baking dish. So they're already open. I'm simply going to pour them out like this. Nice and easy. And once the pie filling is in my baking dish, I'm going to use my spatula, or you could use a big spoon to just smooth it out evenly. Like I said, strawberry cobbler with cake mix dump cake normally only has 3 ingredients. But I'm going to add my Parnell the Chef touch to make it even better. Here I have 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice, to which I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of strawberry extract. Lemon juice really brings out berry flavors, especially strawberry, and I think it's going to help make the store-bought strawberry pie filling taste homemade. And the strawberry extract is going to help even more. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a smaller spoon and I'm going to use it to evenly distribute the lemon juice and strawberry extract as much as I can. You don't want to just go like that, because what's probably going to happen is that most of the lemon juice will end up in one part of your cobbler and it will not be evenly distributed. There we go, that looks good. Somewhere between 1 to 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Now, I'm going to take a spoon and just try to mix everything in a little bit, smooth it out, and then I will bring you back to put on the cake mix. Now that the lemon juice and extract are mixed into the strawberry filling, it's time to sprinkle on the cake mix. Like I said, for this strawberry dump cake cobbler, all you need to do is just dump your ingredients into the pan. So here I have my box of cake mix. I open the bag and I'm literally just going to shake it over the top like this. I'm trying to distribute the cake mix as evenly as possible. I'm going to go back over it with a spoon later, so I don't have to be perfect now, but as evenly as possible. Like I said, I'm using a white cake mix. I think white or yellow would be best because of the neutral flavor. But if you want to get creative, I think chocolate cake mix would be good. I think French vanilla would probably be good. I'm curious about strawberry cake mix and a strawberry dump cake. I think that would be interesting. Probably a spice cake would be interesting too. Lemon. Lots of possibilities. So if you get creative with your cake mix and you make this strawberry cobbler, let me know about it in the comment section. I would like to know. Now I'm going to smooth out the cake mix as best I can. So I just have a spoon and I'm just dragging it over the surface like this. I am not packing it down. You do not want to pack it down. You just want to evenly distribute the cake mix over the strawberry pie filling as best you can. And as I'm doing this, I am breaking up some of the lumps without even really trying. I don't think it's worth the trouble sifting the cake mix before you sprinkle it over the pie filling. I think the idea of a dump cake is that it's easy and as few steps as possible. So just open the bag of cake mix and dump it over, and if you see any big lumps, you can break them up when you take your spoon to spread out the cake mix. Now that I'm done smoothing out the cake mix, it's time to add the butter. Like I said, you will need 2 sticks of butter, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a very sharp knife and I'm going to cut the butter into pads that are as thin as possible, because my goal is to put the butter all over the top of the dump cake so that when it bakes, the butter will melt down and out and cover the cake mix and turn it into a crumb topping for the strawberry cobbler. Like I said, just take a sharp knife and cut the butter as thinly as possible. Although I had my butter off to the side for the beginning of this strawberry cobbler recipe, it's much better if you keep your butter cold. Trying to slice warm butter is very difficult, so I recommend keeping your butter in the refrigerator until you're ready for this step. So once you've cut a few pats of butter, just take it and lay it on top of the cobbler. I would say, I'm not sure how far apart the pats of butter are. They're pretty close. Definitely maybe less than 1/4 inch apart. Very close. You could melt your butter and pour it over the top. I've seen people do that for other dump cake cobblers here on YouTube, but honestly I think you might have a bit of trouble making sure that the butter is evenly distributed. You could freeze your butter and then grate it on a cheese grater and sprinkle it over. That's an option. One of my viewers, not sure if this person is a subscriber or not, I think so, suggested doing that. I think it was when I made my cherry cobbler recipe. So there are multiple ways to go about doing this. This strawberry cobbler with cake mix recipe is definitely easy, but this is the hardest part. It's not really hard, it's just tedious. But you want to take a bit of time and do it right, because it's going to give you a nice buttery golden brown crumb topping that is going to make this amazing. Just to give you an idea on how thick to slice the butter, I think in 1 tablespoon you'll probably get maybe 4 or 5 pieces. I think in the cherry cobbler video I said 3 to 4, maybe 5 or so. Like I said, as thinly as possible. I actually may not use all the 2 sticks of butter. If this looks like a lot of butter to you, which it is, you could probably do 1.5 sticks. I would not use any less than 1 stick of butter though, because less than that, and I don't think there would be enough for all the surface area. I'm gonna finish putting on the butter and I'll bring you back. I just finished laying the butter on top of the strawberry cobbler dump cake. I used all but about 2 tablespoons of the 2 sticks of butter. You can see where there were little gaps. I took off little shreds of butter and filled in the gaps. Does not have to be perfect. This is supposed to be an easy recipe. Now this dump cake will go into the oven at 350. I will let you know for how long. My strawberry cobbler dump cake just came out of the oven. It was in at 350 uncovered for an hour and 15 minutes. It looks and smells incredible.
This looked amazing, so I couldn't wait to dig in. Honestly, this 3-ingredient strawberry dump cake with cake mix and pie filling recipe was really good. I actually liked it better than I thought that I would. As in my other cake mix cobbler recipes, I really liked the texture because the butter on top melted down into the cake mix and turned it into this deliciously crunchy crumb topping. The crumb topping had almost 2 full sticks of butter, so it definitely had a lot of butter flavor, which made it delicious. And in terms of the strawberry pie filling, it actually had more flavor than I thought that it would. Although I do think that the strawberry extract helped a bit, what I think really made the filling delicious was adding the lemon juice. Like I said earlier in the video, lemon really brings out berry flavors, and I think that it also helped to balance out the sweetness between the sugar in the cake mix and the sugar in the pie filling. I know I've done a lot of cake mix cobbler recipes here on my channel, apple, cherry, blueberry, and even though they were good, I always said that they were kind of too sweet for me and they weren't as flavorful as an old-fashioned cobbler would be. And while this strawberry dump cake cobbler was a little bit on the sweet side, and it honestly didn't have quite as much strawberry flavor as a cobbler would if you use fresh or frozen strawberries, I was actually impressed by just how flavorful this was and how much I liked it. I think that the 2 tablespoons of lemon juice was just enough to bring out the strawberry flavor a little bit more and help cut down on the sweetness to help make this cobbler more to my liking. I also wanted to say that I really like the color. The cake mix crumble turned a beautiful golden brown and the pie filling was a really bright red. I thought that the contrast in colors was very nice. The only thing that I think you could do differently to make this better would be possibly adding more pie filling. I'm not sure if you noticed, you can go back in the video and watch where I spread out the pie filling, but even though there were good chunks of fruit in the canned pie filling, a lot of it was just jellied syrup. Even though the jelly syrup was good, I think more fruit would have been better, so maybe doing 3 cans of strawberry pie filling would give this more actual fruit. Or maybe you could add some fresh chopped strawberries or some thawed frozen strawberries. Just something to add a little more actual fruit, I think would help take this to the next level and give it more strawberry flavor as well. One thing that I did want to point out is that even though I didn't have any ice cream, I did have whipped cream, and I thought that eating this strawberry dump cake cobbler with whipped cream was actually really good. I'm trying to figure out why I really liked it with whipped cream. It might be that the fattiness in the whipped cream helped to cut through the sweetness in the cobbler. So if you make this strawberry dump cake with cake mix and pie filling cobbler, I highly recommend that you have some whipped cream, Cool Whip, or vanilla ice cream. Once again, even though this still was not as flavorful as my old-fashioned southern cobblers are, I was actually impressed by how much I like this. Out of all of the dump cake cobbler recipes that I've done here on my channel, this strawberry one and the apple one were the best. And as a chef, I was definitely impressed by how good this 3-ingredient strawberry dump cake recipe turned out. I think it's a good example of how 1 or 2 additional ingredients can take something to the next level. I think that the lemon juice is more important than the strawberry extract, so feel free to leave out the extract and just add the little bit of lemon juice. This dump cake would be perfect for beginner cooks or people who need to feed a crowd because it makes plenty in a 9x13 baking dish. Because of the bright red color, it would be the perfect dessert for the 4th of July, Canada Day, or even a summer barbecue, picnic, or even the holidays. If you make this recipe, I know you'll like it. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.